All right. Let's talk Bitcoin because today's price action is telling a much bigger story than just candles on a chart. Bitcoin is trading around the $89,000, $91,000 zone, and this move didn't happen in isolation. Over the past 24 hours, markets reacted after President Trump stepped back from renewed tariff threats, which immediately eased global risk pressure. As soon as that news hit, Bitcoin pushed higher, showing once again how sensitive BTC is to macro headlines. At the same time, here's the part that confused a lot of people. Bitcoin ETFs recorded heavy outflows, yet price still recovered above $90K. Normally, ETF outflows signal weakening institutional demand. But this time, price didn't follow the script. That tells us spot buyers and non-ETF capital are stepping in aggressively. Now, zoom out for a moment. Just days ago, Bitcoin dropped sharply from the mid-minus $90Ks, triggering over $800 million in liquidations. That forced selling accelerated the downside and wiped out late longs. This kind of flush is important because it resets leverage and removes weak hands from the market. We also can't ignore broader market pressure. Renewed US-EU trade tension fears sparked a global risk-off move, pulling stocks and crypto lower together. Bitcoin didn't crash, but it did react, reminding everyone that BTC still trades like a macro asset during uncertainty. Interestingly, geopolitical headlines like recent US military actions barely moved Bitcoin. That tells us traders are far more focused on liquidity, rates, and trade policy than short-term geopolitical noise. On the bullish side, Vanguard's exposure to MicroStrategy quietly signals that large institutions are still positioning around Bitcoin, just not chasing price aggressively yet. So where does that leave us now? Technically, Bitcoin is in a high volatility consolidation. Key support sits at $85,000, with a major defensive zone near $80,000. On the upside, $92,000 to $95,000 remains the critical resistance band. As long as price stays inside this range, we're in a negotiation phase, not a trend phase. Prediction-wise, if macro pressure cools and ETF outflows slow, Bitcoin can reclaim $95K and attempt continuation higher. If risk-off sentiment returns aggressively, a deeper pullback toward the low $80Ks is still on the table. Final warning, don't trade bias here. This is a market that punishes impatience. Respect the range, wait for volume confirmation, and remember, Bitcoin right now isn't choosing direction, it's loading